The Bermuda Triangle. A vast stretch of ocean where ships have vanished, planes have disappeared, and for decades people have whispered about forces beyond explanation. This mysterious region forms a rough triangle between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. Millions of ships and aircraft pass through it every year. Most arrive safely, but some never do. And the stories of those disappearances helped create one of the most enduring mysteries in modern history. But what really happened there? To understand the truth, we need to go back to the incidents that started it all. One of the earliest and most famous disappearances happened in March 1918. The USS Cyclops was a massive U.S. Navy cargo ship, over 165 meters long. It was carrying more than 300 crew members and passengers, along with a full load of manganese ore. It departed from Barbados, heading toward Baltimore. It never arrived. No distress call was ever received. No wreckage was ever found. No survivors were ever seen again. To this day, the disappearance of the USS Cyclops remains the single largest loss of life in U.S. naval history, not involving combat. Investigators considered many possibilities. A storm, structural failure, overloading of cargo, even sabotage since it was during World War I. But no definitive answer was ever proven. The ocean had simply swallowed the ship. Then came the incident that would cement the Bermuda Triangle into legend, December 5, 1945. 5 U.S. Navy training planes known as Flight 19 took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Their mission was routine, a navigation exercise over the Atlantic followed by a return to base. The planes were TBM Avenger torpedo bombers, flown by experienced pilots. But during the flight, something went wrong. The flight leader, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, radioed the base with a chilling message. His compass wasn't working. He was disoriented. He believed he was flying over the Florida Keys, but he was actually somewhere over open ocean. The pilots became increasingly confused. Their radios filled with uncertainty. They tried to find land. They tried to turn back. But their navigation instruments continued to malfunction, or appeared to. As fuel ran low, their final messages became desperate. One pilot said, "It looks like we're entering whitewater. Nothing seems right." Then silence. All 5 planes vanished. A rescue plane was immediately sent to find them. That plane also disappeared. In total, 6 aircraft and 27 men were lost. No wreckage was ever found. The official Navy report concluded the cause was unknown. This single event helped ignite public fascination with the Bermuda Triangle. But Flight 19 wasn't alone. In 1948, a Douglas DC-3 passenger plane disappeared while flying from Puerto Rico to Miami. There were 32 people on board. The pilot reported no major problems before contact was lost. The weather was calm. The plane simply vanished. No wreckage was ever discovered. This was especially disturbing because the DC-3 was considered one of the most reliable aircraft ever built. Again, the ocean kept its secrets. Stories like these began to capture public imagination. In the 1950s and 60s, writers began collecting these incidents and publishing articles and books. They described a mysterious zone where compasses failed, electronics malfunctioned, and ships and planes vanished without explanation. Some suggested alien involvement. Others blamed underwater cities like Atlantis. Some even believed time itself behaved differently there. The legend of the Bermuda Triangle was born. But as the stories grew more dramatic, scientists began looking for real explanations, and they found several. One important factor is navigation. Most compasses point toward magnetic north, not true north. The difference between the two is called magnetic variation. But in certain parts of the Bermuda Triangle, magnetic north and true north align. This is called agonic variation. For experienced navigators, this isn't a problem. But for inexperienced pilots or sailors, especially in earlier decades, it could cause confusion and navigation errors. Even a small mistake in direction over open ocean can quickly lead to being completely lost. Another powerful force in the region is the Gulf Stream. The Gulf Stream is a massive ocean current that moves warm water from the Gulf of Mexico up the eastern coast of the United States and across the Atlantic. It moves incredibly fast, like a river within the ocean. If a ship sinks, the Gulf Stream can carry wreckage far away in a short time, making it almost impossible to find. This explains why many wrecks were never recovered. They didn't disappear. They were simply moved. Weather is another major factor. The Bermuda Triangle is prone to sudden storms, hurricanes, and violent squalls. Weather can change rapidly, sometimes faster than ships or planes can react. Even modern vessels can struggle in severe conditions. In earlier decades, without advanced radar and satellite forecasting, storms could catch crews completely off guard. Rogue waves are also known to occur in this region. These massive waves can reach heights over 30 meters. They appear suddenly and without warning. A rogue wave can overwhelm even large ships, causing them to sink quickly. There is also a scientific theory involving methane gas. Under the ocean floor, there are deposits of methane trapped in ice-like structures called methane hydrates. Sometimes methane gas can be suddenly released. When large amounts of gas rise through the water, they reduce the density of the water. This makes it harder for ships to stay afloat. In extreme cases, a ship could sink rapidly. Methane gas could also affect aircraft engines if it rises into the air, though this is considered less likely. While this theory hasn't been proven as the cause of specific disappearances, it is scientifically possible. But perhaps the most important explanation is the simplest. Human error, navigation mistakes, poor decisions, or mechanical failures. Fatigue, miscommunication. These factors account for the majority of aviation and maritime accidents worldwide. And the Bermuda Triangle is one of the busiest shipping lanes on Earth. With so much traffic, accidents are inevitable. Statistically, the number of disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle is not higher than in other heavily traveled ocean regions. Organizations like the U.S. Coast Guard and Marine Insurance Company, Lloyd's of London do not recognize the Bermuda Triangle as unusually dangerous. They consider it a normal part of the ocean, not a supernatural one. In fact, modern technology has dramatically reduced disappearances. GPS navigation allows precise positioning anywhere on Earth. Satellites monitor weather in real time. Emergency locator beacons help rescuers find downed aircraft or ships quickly. Today, millions of planes and ships travel through the Bermuda Triangle safely every year. The mystery, it seems, was never about aliens or paranormal forces. It was about something far more real. The power of nature, the limits of human technology, and the vast, unpredictable ocean. The Bermuda Triangle remains one of the most fascinating mysteries in history. Not because it defies science, but because it reminds us how dangerous the natural world can be. Ships can sink, planes can crash, storms can appear without warning. And sometimes the ocean keeps its secrets forever. But the truth isn't supernatural, it's real, and in many ways that's even more terrifying. Please subscribe for more true and explainable stories.